welcome back guys. In this new video I want to go over the new CAS Heli that got added to squad. I think you guys know how I feel about it based on my recent videos, but I'll just go a little bit more in depth into some statistics, how the win rate about it, and some quirks and flaws, and also some good things about it that I think it did well on. So I actually want to talk about my qualifications to comment on this matter. I've been making content for YouTube for about 10 months now, maybe a year, I'm not exactly sure. And I have 3,100 hours in this game. So I do care about this game, I do want it to succeed. I am a long-term player. Most of my hours have actually been spent in the Heli seat, and that's pretty much been my main focus in this game since I bought it. So first I have to give AutoGuide credit because this is something we've been asking for fucking years now, and they finally listened and actually added it. So I'm actually pretty grateful for that, and I don't think any playbots are mad that they actually added it, because this gives something new to new players to try out, even though we don't fucking want to play it because they just crashed. But nevertheless, constant abilities, and actually I think brought back some old players just to try out the old this new thing, actually, because a lot of these old players stopped playing until this thing, this castle came out, right? So I think it's bringing back some old players. It definitely brought a ton of new players to the game. We had a free weekend last weekend, and I think it brought a ton of new players to the game, which really helped servers and people, everybody liked, to be honest. But alright, so enough talking, let's get into it. So I want to display the actual win rate for the WPMC faction. This is including the air assault and the actual other sub faction that the WPMC has. So this is the combined, this is across all modes, all factions, all sub factions, all that kind of stuff. So this is the win rate for it. So as you can see, it's hovering around 60% win rate. I think this is partially due to it being extremely a fast faction, so you can easily capture points. It's all its Vics are very fast. It has very agile helis. It has very agile Vics. It also has the MSV, I think it's called, MVS. I don't know, the mobile spawn vehicle, which is worth 20 tickets, which you can spawn off it. So that is basically just a free fob. You don't have to put down anything like that, and it's very formidable faction. I want to talk a little bit more about the CAS Heli now. So for my gameplay of the CAS Heli, you can get two shot by infantry if they hit your engine, and I'll show you in a couple minutes here what that looks like. But essentially, it's just if they hit your engine twice with a 50 cal, and 50 cal I think one shots with the AK. One shot pistol, you can get two shot. So pretty much every light infantry is two shots to the engine and it kills it, which I don't know if this is a bug or not. I don't know. I think they would have already fixed it, so I'm gonna go with this as a feature. And they also recently made it. I'm not sure if it's all helis, but I think it's definitely the CAS Heli now. The windscreen is not bulletproof, so if you get shot at, you are dead, right? And so that makes it so you have to be a little more cautious about how you're going to play this thing. So you can't exactly go around. In this video, I'll show you a little bit about what I'm doing. But you should definitely not do what I'm doing. Alright, I'm going to set an example of what not to do if you want to actually survive in this thing. And if you can see my past two videos, I'll put up on the screen here in a minute. You'll see that I am hovering far away and I'm targeting armor. Because armor is much harder. It's going to be much harder to hit you. I'll show you the size comparison here in a minute. I'll show you the size comparison here as well. Alright, so I was able to find the size comparison. So as you can see, the loach is on the right and the Huey is in the middle. The Huey is the loach is half the wingspan of a Huey. It's actually less than half, because it's literally less than half of Huey. So it is extremely small. This thing is super hard to hit, which also means you can fly between things that are like absolutely small as shit, right? So if you want to fit through a super tight gap in the trees to get away from something, you can probably do that in this heli. And this heli is unlike any other heli in that regard. Alright, so let me show you a little bit of gameplay with the CAS Heli of what not to do, okay? What not to do. If you want to see what to do, you can look at my other videos, my past two videos, which I highlighted exactly what you should be doing in the CAS Heli. Alright, let's go. like to say this is probably about 20% of the clips I have of me actually crashing in this thing. And as you can see, it's not exactly the most durable thing ever, right? So, and also one thing I want to highlight with these is most of these kills are by what like I said, infantry kills, like by a door gunner, for example, or by just a random shot from a guy on the ground 300 meters away, right? So these are not like, it's just not things that would ever happen post 8.8. Is it 8.0, 8.1, 8.0? I think it's 8.0 update, right? So these are not things that would actually be happening, all right, post this update. So I don't think that this heli is completely balanced. I think they should buff the engine a little bit. I think if they buff the engine a little bit, I think that would make this thing super balanced. And I also want to display here in a minute some things I saw, some bugs with this thing, right? So one of the things I noticed is the rotors will randomly break when you land and you try to take off again, and you don't like, and you pitch. I honestly don't know how it happens, but if you land and you like pitch in any way or whatever, and you go up, it'll break your rotors. It'll break your tail rotor. It'll break your main rotor, right? So, which has honestly made me spend about half the game sometimes at main just trying to fix the heli because it's been like so broken. So I want to give a little roadmap for I think what ODY should do, the developer should do, to fix some of these issues and address some of these issues. So one would be either buff the engine on it like a little bit, at least a little bit. It's really fragile right now. So I would recommend like maybe give it another shot or two. Maybe give it like double the HP it has right now. I think it'd be more than fair. Because right now it costs 15 tickets if you die in the loach, right? And you're not always getting 15 tickets, right? I show you some games where I get like 30 tickets worth, but I might die twice. So you're really not profiting a whole lot off this thing. So it's not really worth taking it out every time if you're just going to get one shot by some random infantry just sitting in the middle of the field just popping shots at you, right? So, and I also want to share a little bit of thoughts about the flight model of this thing. This thing does not J-hook. I'm going to go in for a J-hook here and I'll show you. It literally just drops to the ground. You can't even do it. It doesn't J-hook, right? So that's what I do now is I just fly in and then just hold A or D, because if you're holding the yaws, this thing just it like does a full 360 within like a second, which is much different from any of the other helis, right? Notably, this thing also barrel rolls very well. Okay, so if you want to do some barrel rolls, you can definitely do them in this thing, right? If you're definitely new to them, I recommend checking out my tutorial on how to do them. But nevertheless, it's very easy to do in this thing because it spins so fast. You can do the barrel roll in like 3 seconds in this thing. It is very easy. Also, I've seen some of y'all in my comments saying they should add jets, they should add homing missiles, stingers. This thing is not that broken, okay? Just pull out your gun and shoot it. You don't need a homing missile for this thing. This thing does not require a homing missile to shoot down. You don't need a homing missile. You really don't. You really don't. If you have trouble shooting this thing down, you need to get your aiming skills checked, alright? This thing is not hard to shoot down. Even I can shoot this thing down. All you do is just hold your gun and just shoot. You'll end up hitting one of your shots and it'll go down, right? So I think that's what people need to stop complaining about. Is this thing is not overpowered. I think it's actually underpowered. They should buff some of it, right? And I think that if they actually buff some of it, I think this thing is actually going to be a formidable force. Then I would consider adding the possibility of missiles or whatever else you're saying. But I think if they do that, they should also add another CAS heli in the future as well. So maybe like the UH, I think it's the 1H or 1, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but the Steel Division has I want to say it's Steel Division or the Global Escalation mod has a Huey that has missiles, it has home fire, dumbfire missiles, it has rockets, and it has a BMP turret for the gunner. That I think is the limit on what they should add to squad. That would not be like super OP, right? But that's just my opinion on it. I'll let you guys make your own opinion on it. If you guys like this video, make sure to drop a like. If you didn't, let me know in the comments what you think you don't like about this video, or tell me about what you don't like about the CAS heli, because I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll respond to comments below addressing those issues. So if that's all, thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.
There is no hunting like the hunting of man. And those who have hunted armed men long enough and liked it never cared for anything else thereafter.